desperate situation for the country's many millions of unemployed young people as well then, who will have little to celebrate on June 16. Are we asking the right questions, though, about this is perhaps some of the questions. According to the Centre of Development and Enterprise Government must start focusing on the catalytic changes required to produce faster growing and targeted interventions and the expansion of public works opportunities, that is, to have to be part of the solution. But the question can also be asked whether that will be enough as well. Via Skype, I'm joined by Ann Bernstein, then, who is Executive Director at the Centre for Development and Enterprise. Ann, thank you so much for the time. As youth continue to grapple with the story around not just their unemployment, but now dealing with the virus as well, it becomes even bigger of a problem now. And where to from here? Is government targeting efforts at rebuilding that phase at the very least?
Well, thanks very much. This is, as we head towards tomorrow, June the 16th, and Youth Day in South Africa, I think the challenge of youth unemployment is just really devastating. And we are not sure yet what exactly the country is going to do now that we're during this crisis and afterwards. And we're saying that dealing with youth unemployment has to be one of the national priorities. And the big test is scale. Is what the president's talking about, what he was talking about in February in his State of the Nation speech, what we hope he's going to talk about next week, are the initiatives being proposed going to deal with the scale of this challenge? Because there are over 6 million people before we entered COVID who were unemployed, who were young people between the ages of 15 to 34.
Yeah, so now we sit with a situation where we could ask the question, have we been focusing in the wrong places, or have the efforts so far been okay? It's just that we now haven't turned our attention to the auxiliary factors, which this is a primary portion of as well.
We would be arguing that. We're saying that you can have all sorts of projects, you can have various interventions, and most of them are very good in themselves. But unless we are getting a much faster growing economy and a much more labor-intensive economy, we're not going to make the impact that has any real significance. So the truth is that firms, more and more firms and expanding companies are the best projects to deal with employment. And we also have to look at, so that's the one big issue, but we also need to look at skills. How do we fix our education system so that more and more young South Africans get a decent education, which they are not getting now? And how do we get skills that are relevant for work? So there are a whole lot of issues here that have to be done on scale, that have to be done within the resources that we have, which are going to be more limited during and after COVID. And it's way past time that we took this issue with the seriousness that it deserves. It's a national catastrophe, really, for all these young people and who have no future in our society.
Yeah, look, that ultimately is what it looks like at this point in time then. And it was a problem that was there even before COVID-19, of course, the prioritization. Has government been part of conversations around this matter right now? Are they indeed at least trying to draw up some sort of resolution moving forward with regards to not just youth employment, but employment in general as well, in a similar way, skills, as you made note of as well?
Look, it's important that in the February State of the Nation speech, the president had youth unemployment and a set of initiatives to deal with this as one of his major priorities. That's good. But obviously that was overtaken by COVID. And now that people are starting to think about recovery and what to be returning to a sort of new normal, we would strongly recommend that this priority does not get lost, and that we introduce initiatives that are going to make a real difference in millions of people's lives. And that means we have to take the bold decisions about the labor market and access for young people into the labor market, and how we get a much faster growing economy and firms that are expanding and wanting to hire young people. That's critical. Those are the reforms we have to get going.
Yeah, look, and it certainly is a conversation to be had, not just once, but certainly into perpetuity by the seams of things. Thank you so much for your time there. Ann Bernstein there, joining us via live there via Skype. She's Executive Director for the Center for Development and Enterprise. Let's head off to a short break now.